talk about self-insurance, and I'd like to just follow up on some of the questions. And I was a small business owner who we employed about 150, said at various times throughout our 25 years of operating a business, different types of insurance. We had fully funded, then we had self-insured with a stopgap. Our experience with self-insured was that over time, obviously you could have bad years where it would cost more than a fully funded, but over time, we saw pretty dramatically decreased costs while we thought was providing even better care for employees because of the attention that everyone in our group paid to not only receiving quality care, but also to controlling those costs. But my question is, well, I mean, one other point before I get to the question is, I've had a lot of discussions with businesses in regards to the impact of the ACA, in regards to the impact of increased health insurance costs. And one of the things I've noted is that businesses over the past few years who were self-insured didn't see some of the dramatic increases. And again, as I said earlier, it may vary year to year, but so I guess my question is, do we have any data to that point? Do we, in general, overall, are cost saving? Do we see cost savings just by the fact that businesses are self-insured? And if we do, I think it's because we're doing the wellness programs, we're doing that education with employees, everyone's working to reduce costs. But what data is out there in that regard, Mr. Ritchie?
There is no mass aggregator of data between health insurance and self-funded and cost analysis. We are truly, and I would argue that the self-funded employer is experiencing the same cost increases that the health insurers are going to. I mean, medical providers' cost is going up, and there's just a matter of how they're financing it. Now, your analysis was that over time, it was cheaper, and I agree with that, because over a 3 to 5 year period, we see that self-insurance is generally cheaper than health insurance. Now, on a year-to-year basis, that may be very different because the health insurance is prospectively priced, where the self-insurance is actually priced. So whatever you actually spend that year is your cost, where in health insurance, they're predicting that. They're doing the underwriting. They're doing the actuarial services to project your ultimate cost. If they go above what that will be profit to the health insurer. If the price is below actual cost, that will be a loss to the health insurer. That's the risk transfer mechanism. But into your question, there is no grand aggregator, but costs are going up for all employers. Right. It's just self-funded employer over time does manage the cost. They are more proactive. They are more engaged, and the employee benefits. A lot of employers will actually tell their employees, we are a self-funded plan, just so you know what that means. And I do think people understand medical costs and try to save medical costs when they can.
That's what we saw. The other arrangement we were part of at some point along the way was we banded together with other businesses in sort of what was called a rent-a-captive program. And so it was like businesses that felt they had similar risks and then worked together to control those risks. And then we also included in that program our workers' comp insurance. And in some cases, even some that do that include other insurance products like general liability and so on. Is that still being done today? Did ACA change any of that? And can you just talk a little bit about that?
The ACA did not impact any of that. What you're talking about is the utilization of a group captive for those workers' comp and CGL product lines, and then of another segregated portion of that captive to cover the benefits. I don't want to give the illusion that, you know, health benefits and comp benefits were intermingled somehow. But what you did is you had a facility that segmented them in proportionate captive cells for each product line, and then you shared that risk among the other employers.
So today, can businesses still band together in that way without an association, for instance?
Yes.
How is that different than what we're talking about with associations?
Well, the association, one thing that's not been mentioned on the association health plan is there are rules within that law that says it must be on a bona fide association. So I can't go create an association tomorrow and say I'm going to be the guys wearing a blue tie today association and have everybody come into that. It has to be an association that was already existed for the benefit of the members. So you can't just create an association that everybody comes into. You have to have a legitimate bona fide association that already exists and then provide health care through that. So Does that clarify your question?
Yeah, I'm out of time, but I'd like to maybe discuss with you later a little bit more about the captive program.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.